Welcome back to another episode of Stitch Method. This one is going to be a doozy. I'm going to talk fast, and it might be a very long video. We are going to use Wind Cries Mary by Jimi Hendrix to discover your soloing options so that you can do your own cover in any style that you like, and not have to be forced to sound like Jimi Hendrix in your solo, which is not bad. It's just sometimes you're in a band and you want to play Wind Cries Mary, and you don't have to go run and grab your Strat and sound like Hendrix. You just want to play your style. So after this lesson, hopefully you'll be able to understand which styles to play in and how it came about. So let's get started. All right, here we go. Couple of things we have to talk about Wind Cries Mary. You will be able to style in about 3 different soloing options and understand why Hendrix soloed in his style and how he did it. So to come up with this, and we got to go quick, this is going to be a long video, is we got to look at what's happening in the song. Now the song is based around the C chord, volume, right? C chord, B flat, and F. By the way, I will say you're not learning Jimi Hendrix's note-for-note solo here. There are hundreds of videos on YouTube that you can go and learn how to do that. You're going to learn why he chose the way to solo, and if you want to learn his style, you can, but this is about finding your style. Just wanted to preface that. Okay, so you have the C, the B flat, and the F chord that the main structure of the song is built around. And again, you can look up the tabs or a tutorial, but we got to talk about the soloing part, and this is huge, all right? In this song, Jimi Hendrix wrote a totally different chord progression for the solo. The solo chord progression is F to E flat to B flat to A flat, excuse me, A flat. So you have F, that's E flat, B flat, A flat. And I will tell you, this song stumped me for a while, like how he was soloing on it. And then I had to remind myself to actually practice what I preach, and it all came together. And in studying it, I said, "Oh my God, I gotta share this with you." So we're not gonna look at the A flat right now. We will talk about that in a second. But what we're going to talk about is the F, the E flat, and the B flat. And if you look at that progression, you can kind of physically see a 5-4-1 or 1-4-5. For all you guys who follow Stitch Method or know your basic theory, you can see that it's a 5-4-1 progression. So if we're starting something on the 5, you'd want to consider doing a Mixolydian scale, because the 5 is the 5th mode, and if that's an F, you'd say, okay, let's take a look at F Mixolydian. But Hendrix doesn't use an F Mixolydian. He uses something better, the F Major Pentatonic. Now, I addressed this on some of my live feeds and maybe one of my recorded videos, but the reason the pentatonics are so versatile and powerful is because they don't contain any notes that are special to the particular mode you're in. So if I need an F Mixolydian scale, I can play an F Major Pentatonic, and that's going to do the job. It's not going to put anything in jeopardy. So if you have this F, E flat, B flat starting on the 5, you have a creeping suspicion of Mixolydian, but Hendrix uses the F major. So let's just look at a couple of his lines to show you how this works and what his mindset is. To see it, I'm going to show you, here's the F major pentatonic that we use on the 10th fret, but the 11th fret root notes, form 1. You have, let's see, D, F, well, starting F, right? F, G, A, C, D. Okay, right there. Boom, 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 boom. F, G, A, C, D, and F. Fret-wise, 10, 13, 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 13, 10, 13. And he also uses the Form 2 pentatonic. If you want to get there, you can use the Never Lost, right? And here it is. And he's using the Form 2 pentatonic as well in the solo. And these Hendrix-isms really come out of his Form 2 playing. He starts off borrowing these 2 notes here. They're in the Form 2. The C and the F, and he'll go. So check, okay, everything's in the major pentatonic. Then he does this awesome Hendrix-ism where he plays the C and the G. He kind of like grabs 2/3 of the 5 chord, and that's that beautiful sound that Hendrix gets, this little thing. All those notes are still in that Form 2 pentatonic. And then he'll go, is form 1. So one of his solos, I'm just going to play one of his solo-esque type movements. And you can see I'm just using the F major pentatonic form 1 and form 2 with that much of a spread. Alright, so he uses the F major pentatonic. So if you want to solo in your own style, but you don't want to do a Hendrix cover, you want to perform this song in your own terms, the first thing you want to do is over that particular chord progression is you want to play an F major pentatonic. Now, in the solo itself, there's more to the progression, but we're just talking about this first part. It happens, I think, 3 times. So I have a loop going. I'm going to turn on my distortion, and if my theory is correct, I can use my F major pentatonic. I'll use form 1 and form 2. I'm not going to play the Hendrix stuff I'm just going to play my style in those 2 forms, and let's see how we do. So right there it changes, but you can see that my F major pentatonic worked great, and if I was playing the song and I didn't want to do like a 100% Hendrix cover, excuse me, I want to do my style, that F major pentatonic would work. Alright, and so it'll work for you, so let's continue moving forward. I'm going to turn my distortion off. We'll talk about the next part of the solo. After it does that, it goes down to the G major, and then it goes up to the B flat major, which is a theme in the chorus of the song, right? And the wind whispers. There it is. There. He goes G, ba, 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 B flat, and then he carries this minor third theme, which is 3-fret distance, and he goes up to the C sharp or D flat, and he uses all major chords. So boom, da, dum, da, da, dum, 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 B flat, boom, da, da, dum, boo, doo, 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 D flat, doom, ba, da, dum, da, da, dum. So what does he choose to do here? Well, when he gets to the G, he chooses to take his F major pentatonic and do the same thing, but move it up 2 frets, the G major pentatonic, and he literally plays like the same thing in that form 2. And then it goes to the B flat. He grabs a little bit of B flat chord, it does a trill. Okay, so B flat chord or B flat scale we can use here. And then they get to the D flat. Okay, he gets to this D flat major and then chooses to put the D flat minor pentatonic on top of that moment. And in the song you can clearly hear that minor pentatonic come in. Clear as day. You hear him like play his Hendrix thing, the G, a little bit of chord stuff on that B flat, and then it gets to the D flat and something to that extent, and go listen to it. You'll hear him snap into that mindset quickly. So with that mindset, F major pentatonic, okay, G major pentatonic, what I would do if I was me, I would just take my F major and I would slide it up. So I'm going to use the G major pentatonic right here, starting on the 15th fret, form 1. I will have a chart for all these styles if you need it, okay? So there's my G major. When it gets to the B flat, I'm going to choose my B flat major pentatonic, which is going to be barring on that, there's my B flat chord, and it's going to be the form 4 pentatonic based on the 10th fret. So you have 10, 13, 10, 13, 10, 12, 10, 12, 11, 13, 10, 13. It's the form 4 pentatonic. That's the B flat major, excuse me. And then when he gets to the D flat, I'm going to switch right here to a D flat minor pentatonic, 9th fret. So I'll try and yell this out and see if I can put it all together. Let's see if we can do this. So starting on the F major pentatonic. Back to the F major. Good, okay, so now, I know I'm going fast, but please rewind. Now, this is the basic mindset of the scales that Hendrix chose to use. On this progression, the F to the E flat to the B flat, he uses, and the A flat, we'll talk about that in a second. He uses his F major pentatonic, like Hendrix style playing. Now, to address that A flat, what's so cool about this is, and this is why Hendrix was a true genius, and you can ask him, well, you can't ask him. I mean, like, if we could ask him how he came up with this, he could have just played it, could have heard it, could have used some theory, but we have to analyze it from a theory perspective, which is you're playing, in the blues, you've seen some of my videos, you have the major chord bass, or dominant chord bass, and then you have a minor scale on top, and it's the sound of the minor scale and, the minor third and the major third that are rubbing together between a minor pentatonic and a chord that make the blues the blues. So he's using his F major pentatonic, but he throws in the chord the minor third of F, right there. And it's just brilliant. So it works because there's that grit of the minor third, F, A flat. And instead of him putting it in the scale, he puts it in the chord progression, which blows my mind. So anyway, so the F major pentatonic will work over all of that. For the G, he uses the G major pentatonic wherever you are. You can slide up 2 frets in the G major pentatonic. For the B flat, you can use your B flat major pentatonic. And then for the D flat, you can use your D minor pentatonic, which is what he chooses. Okay, so now hopefully it all made sense, and we're probably like 10, 12 minutes into a video right now, and if you don't like it, turn it off. But if you like where this is going, we're going to talk about more options now. This is kind of like the bonus section. What we just covered was your ability to play a solo to this on your own without having to play the Hendrix style note for note. So now, the reason that all of this works, and we got to talk about why he chose, now we're talking about why he chose the F major pentatonic. The reason he chose this is kind of brilliant because you have the 5 chord, 4, 1, 5, 4, 1, and he's soloing off of the 5. Now, soloing off the 5 is probably one of the most versatile options a guitar player can have. Some of the options we have are, well, I can play, it's a 5-4-1 progression, which means I can play the mixolydian of this. This is F, so I can play F. But now what happens if we use F mixolydian? Well, if you want to use F mixolydian, you can do, if you're in a band, let's make sure the distortion is off, you can use F mixolydian, and I'm going to show it to you, and you're going to get the sound as if the Grateful Dead would have covered this. So Jerry Garcia is a full scale diatonic player, so when he sees this 5-4-1 progression, he's probably going to say, well, it's going to be a mixolydian. So the mixolydian scale, again, this is a long lesson, and if you need a chart, if you need one, I'll have it below with all the different scale options. So a basic F mixolydian is going to be F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, F. There it is there, continuous scale. G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, F. For the guitar players, which for people who want the frets, it's 13, 15, 12, 13, 15, 12, 13, 15, 12, 14, 15, 13, 15, 16, 13, 15. So now listen to when I put in the mixolydian scale full color, and I really want to pay attention to the flat 7. Here we go. I'm going to turn my distortion off. I just don't picture if Jerry Garcia was going to play this that he would put distortion on. This is what it sounds like. So you can hear that colorful pop that Jerry would do where he's playing fast on the mixolydian. For the G major chord, he would probably just snap right to the G major. For the B flat major, he would probably bring it right to the B flat major scale. And then for the D flat major, I firmly believe that you have this option, but Jerry Garcia would choose the D flat major scale over the major chord. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play again the F mixolydian, G major on top of the G, B flat major on top of the B flat, and D flat major on top of the D flat. And let's see how this sounds, and hopefully I don't screw it up. There's my looper, let's see. Okay. So, if you want the Jerry Garcia sound, you're soloing 5-4-1. You can play the F mixolydian because you're starting on the 5. And so that will work. For the G, you'll play the the G major scale. For the B flat, you can play the B flat major scale, and for the D flat, you can play the D flat major scale. Again, I'm not trying to push the chart, but I'll have everything listed and how to do it. The last version we're going to go off is something that I heard John Mayer do when he covered it, and also, as you know, my favorite band is Phish, and when Phish covered it, Trey played the Hendrix style, but I have a funny feeling if he were to have written this song, he loves that Dorian mode or the minor sound on top of the major chords. This is the third option where you can play an F minor pentatonic. Now, why can you play the F minor pentatonic? Well, it's very simple. You have a 5-4-1, and instead of playing an F mixolydian, you can play an F major pentatonic, and it's going to sound beautiful. And if you want to have it sound like a blues song, you have to put the minor scale on top of it. So here we have our F minor option. Now the F minor option, you can carry all the way through, and then on the G, you can play a G minor pentatonic. On the B flat, you can play a B flat minor pentatonic. And on the D flat, you can play a D flat minor pentatonic. You have so many options, and this chord progression is so versatile, but you can hear the sounds that each one has to offer. So again, I just want to make sure we understood that we have a 5-4-1 progression. It's a mixolydian progression. You can play the major pentatonic, that's Hendrix. You can play the mixolydian scale, that'd be like a Grateful Dead type sounding thing. And then you can play the minor scale, which will be the bluesiest sound because you're putting the minor pentatonic on top of this major chord progression. And so here we go. I'm just going to load up, put my distortion on. I'm going to play the F minor pentatonic, G minor, B flat minor, and D flat minor. And just to make them obvious, I'm going to play the F minor here, like F minor, G minor, B flat minor, and then D flat minor, all form one. So here we go. Let's see what it sounds like. Okay, so now, I hope this lesson doesn't suck. All right, this this chord progression is extremely versatile. A 5-4-1 chord progression. There's a lot of different ways you can solo on it, and I wanted to use this particular song because it's a great song to cover. It's an easy song to cover. If you just want to play the chords to it with a band and sing it, people are going to appreciate it. You don't have to play the full Hendrix dexterity style. And you get to choose your soloing options. If you want to sound pretty and happy, it's the F major pentatonic. If you want to sound a little more colorful in terms of like 1960s, 70s, Dead and the psychedelia type movements, you can play the mixolydian. If you want to sound rocky and bluesy, you can put the F minor pentatonic and move the minor pentatonics on top of those chords. What sounds good to you is what you want to do. If you're like, oh, I don't like this, that's fine. It's not that it's wrong or right. It's just you as a guitar player want to learn what styles that you gravitate towards. And so I'll have a backing track linked below, hopefully, if I do my job, of me playing this chord progression, shouting them out. I'll probably do it like 3 or 4 times around for you to practice. And you can mix and match any of these styles if you like and see what you like. But the whole entire purpose of this lesson, I think, is to show you that if you know your chord progression and you know the different types of scales you can put on top of your chord progression, you have to at least experiment to find the sound that you like. Hendrix found his in the F major pentatonic and moving to the G major pentatonic and the B flat major and then turning the D flat into a minor. And you can do the same thing, or you can come up with yours. And remember, if it sounds good to you, it sounds good to everyone. So have fun with it, and yeah, good luck. One last little cheap shout out. I have my t-shirts and mugs. I have a couple new designs, And so you can click the link below if you're interested. Here's a mug. It's the old school mug with my white patches. But anyway, I haven't mentioned my merchandise site. So if you like the Stitch method and you want to rock a shirt or drink out of my face, cool. Have a great week, guys. Bye.